if you're a Scorpio born October 23rd to November 21st, what can you expect for the month of July 2019? Let's tune in and find out. So I feel a lot of pressure. I have immediately kind of like a little bit of a headache. It's not bad though. It feels like it's a big project or something that you've been working on and that you're excited about, but there's a lot of pressure to get it done, a lot of pressure for it to look a certain way or to appeal to a certain, public or a certain demographic. So I'm just feeling squeezed a little bit about its presentation and how it's supposed to look. And, because you want it to, you want it to represent you and for it to be the best that it can possibly be. So I feel like you're going to be spending some time this month in being able to pull all those pieces together and actually having the right people show up around you that give you the wise counsel, that support you in being able to not have it be rough around the edges and really package it and look at it beautiful. And then it feels like it's done. Like it's just like one of those things, it's done. I've got everything, I've put as much time as I'm going to put into it and it's done. And it just feels like it soars. So it's really good, whatever that is that you've been working on and are a little bit concerned about. I do feel like it's gonna really turn out well, but not without some crunching this month to make that happen. All right, so let's look at romantic relationships for you Scorpios who are interested in your romantic relationship. Let's see how you fare this month. Well, it's a passionate month. It just feels like, I feel like there's passion, there's communication, and there's headbutting, and then there's passion and communication and headbutting. So it just feels like, like an intense but passionate month. And then I feel like there's a lot of fun too, a lot of joy and ease. Definitely feel like there's different pockets in the month where you just go and have a good time and you get away and you just explore and some of you may have just been coming off of a trip together, a kind of a trip of a lifetime where it was just really fun. It was something unique and unusual that you've never done before. And now it's kind of having to make up for lost time in July feels a little bit more intense because you've recently just come off this vacation in the last month or so. So for those of you that are looking for a romance, let's see what's in store for you, Scorpios. You guys can make it rain anytime. In other words, like Scorpio, you guys never have a dry spell. You can have sex whenever you want to have sex. Now, romance, a little bit different. So let's see about romance this month because I can see that you can have sex like that. So let's see romance this month. If you can settle into is that enough for me and not being too hypersensitive or overcritical? Just because this month there's an intensity with the eclipses. We have a new moon and total solar eclipse in Cancer, July 2nd. And Cancers tend to be very sensitive people, very emotional, and you may find yourself being a little more emotional, being a little more susceptible to romantically to somebody than you've been in a while. So I see, real high percentages of you kind of falling for somebody and not really intending to and just wanting to be sex, and suddenly it's like, oh, I've got feelings attached here. I wasn't expecting that. So, be a little aware that, if you're gonna go all in, that there may be, there's a risk of, your heart being open and that you may or may not want that. So just know that around that second, there's this really idyllic situation that kind of sets you up for love if you want it. Now, there's also little moments throughout the rest of the month that's available. So yeah, definitely opportunity for you guys to be in love. So let's move on to career for you Scorpios. Let's see what your career looks like at this month. So I see, you're like, you always have goals, right? So I see you at the top and having a goal, but there is a weight associated with that goal. And it could be just the sacrifice, that if you go for that goal, there's a sacrifice. And maybe it's, let's say you're in a band, or you've written a book and you want to go on a tour, right? The sacrifice is you leave your family, you go on tour, right? Or the sacrifice is that, you're in hotels and you're not at home. And so I just see this goal that you want to go for, but there's a sacrifice attached to it. And gives me a little bit of a headache, but I also feel like if you talk to the people around you, and if you talk to the people that are guiding you around this, you can kind of break it up or have the best of both worlds so that it can really work for you instead of work against you. So I do see some big career moves, but it's going to take some patience and a little bit of finessing to have it be the way that you want it. For some of you, it's just going to snap and be done, and it's not what you want, and it may be even something that you push for a really long time, and then you get to it and you go, don't want it, thought I always did, but don't want it, just too restrictive, takes away too much of my money, thought I always wanted that, but not going to do it. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lifelong goal comes to you and you end up not doing it. Wow. All right, so let's look at money for Scorpios. So there's a lot of money in your personal ideas, a lot of money in your vision, even more so than other people's visions for you. I feel like when you're backing your own product, when you're the one who's kind of creating your own image and your own vision, it just feels like you get so much traction out of that, so much higher and faster than other people's visions for you. So do the best you can to either partner or be independent with resources that support you, as opposed to being an employee or being bought and sold by somebody else. Doesn't feel nearly as good, you won't be as happy, and it won't be as lucrative for you. But huge career moves this month and opportunities. Okay, so let's look at your health for Scorpios. I would say that some of you have been burning the candle at both ends, maybe not intentionally, or maybe trying some fad stuff, and it's not really working out for you. So this month feels like a balancing act, like you're getting things back into balance, whether you've been running on no sleep and now you're finally getting sleep. But I see you really, this month is about finding balance in your health, and that's gonna make just life a little bit better for you. All right, let's see if there's anything unexpected for Scorpios this month. Yeah, your talent. I really feel like people are shocked by your talent, by your ability, what you have, what you've been through, what you represent, what you're able to do for them, what you're able to bring to the table. There's this shock that you have so much in your package. Like they just didn't expect that all of that is within you, right? So this real appreciation and even awe of who you are and what you have to offer is very attractive to people. And so I really feel almost like, it can almost be like a bidding war happens for you. So if you have a special project or something, I would shop it around, because I feel like you could get a lot more money if you get kind of like a bidding war happening for you. So definitely unexpected treatment and recognition and excitement about you and what you do. Nice. All right, let's look at how the solar eclipse in Cancer, that new moon July 2nd, may affect Scorpios. It feels a little whimsical, like you might just decide, hey, let's pick up and go here. Hey, let's blow off work and go there. And I just see there could be something just magical that all of a sudden you just like, nah, I don't feel like doing that, and you completely change directions. So, and it could be bigger too. It could even be where you suddenly just decide, I'm quit, I'm done, not going back. And so you could actually act on something that you've been talking about for months and months and months, and you finally just get up and do it. So there is an unexpected energy this week, but I don't feel kind of shocked by it. The people around you, you may be shocked by it because you're the one who actually implements it, but it's something you have toyed with or talked about for a while. So nobody else is like, oh, like you finally did that. Oh, you finally quit. Oh, you're finally moving. Oh, you finally dumped him. Oh, you finally, like, oh, you're finally got engaged, right? Like big kind of stuff. So that kind of energy. And then on July 16th, the full moon in Capricorn, which is a partial lunar eclipse. Let's see how that might affect you, Scorpio. It feels like there could be somebody that intentionally tries to hurt you, like intentionally tries to like take a frying pan and hit you over the head, but you're kind of oblivious to it, which is kind of a good thing. It's kind of like you're facing this direction and you're having a conversation and they just come at you and you're like, really? Like it does not even faze you. You're on such a high, in such a good place. And I'm not saying you're out of touch. I'm saying that they have no power over you. And they really try and take a swing at you and you're like, really? That's it? And it has no impact on you, which is amazing. It reminds me a little bit like an ex, and they're bitter and they're this or they're that and they want to say something to you, or an ex-boss who tries to, steal your idea or says something and you're like, whatever, and you're just like, it's so petty that you just don't even care. And, but yet, they really tried to take a swing at you and didn't happen at all. I love that. And it's not like you're oblivious to it, like you see it, but it just doesn't land because you've evolved out of it. You've matured beyond it. So there's no effect. Perfect. All right. So, anything else here? There's a new moon in Leo, August 1st. The Mercury retrograde from July 7th to July 31st. That ends on the 31st. So, there can be some miscommunications there from the 7th to the 31st. Also, you want to double check and triple check anything that you've got going with time, right? Whether it's travel to the airport, whether it's wedding rehearsal dinners, whether it's photographers, whether it's contracts for buys and sells of property, whether it's showing up, at a closing. Just make sure that you're double and triple checking all your contracts, things that have been signed, and locations and those sorts of things, because that's when stuff gets screwed up. And that's generally not an optimal time to buy electronics, like, new phones or computers, that sort of thing. But I would still conduct business. And the reason I say that is we have two big, powerful eclipses that will keep momentum going, which are going to override that retrograde. So go for it. Don't let things stop you this month. Just go for it. Start new endeavors. Do it all, because you've got these eclipses that are going to launch you forward. All right. Anything else that Scorpio needs to know that's unexpected? I just feel this excitement, Scorpio, for you of really seeing a vision, really going for it, and getting support from people that you weren't expecting support from, and feeling calm, like kind of feeling calm in the chaos. Like there's a lot of busyness and a lot of stuff, but I also feel pretty calm in it. Even though there are some big trajectories and like I said, with your partner, there may be some moving in and out of that stuff. But overall, I feel like you have a really calm month. All right, Scorpios, have a wonderful, wonderful July. Thank you so much for viewing and watching my intuitive astrology. If you like it, please click like, comment below, share with your friends, and I look forward to seeing you again next month.